but they try and prove their impact rather than improve their impact. Okay, so here I'm talking about attribution models. So here's the reason why attribution models can actually bring you down. And let me before I've riled enough people up with this, not like crazy, so like I've been kind of like a multi-touch attribution hater for a little bit. I'm pulling back a little as me and a coworker have like been diving deeper into that sort of stuff. But I think some of the principles I still believe in it from like the hate side hold true. So let me start. So the caveat is attribution models are needed, whether you go first touch, multi, whatever. There are benefits to each different kind. They have reasons, and executives need them. Like an executive, when you're reporting marketing impact, you need kind of like a single model or number to show it's like, hey, marketing sourced or influenced or however you want to do it, this much revenue, right? And they want to see that. They want to see it consistent over time, and they need the simple number. They need the simple number because they've got too much going on, and if you're trying to explain all the different ways on how you calculated it and whatever, they get lost, and then it doesn't mean much to them. So you need that. You need those to give it to them. Like, you have to do that. So you have to have that. But the problem is that every attribution model is exceptionally ambiguous. My beef was that because of the amount of bias in them, that it was kind of worthless. I'm pulling back on that a little bit. I don't think it's worthless. I think there's good information there. But the models are prone to marketers choosing the activities that they want to show are the best. Okay? So, let's walk this through. If I'm an SEO manager, I am motivated and I want my team to run attribution models based on first touch. You know, regardless of the length of the sales cycle, whatever. I'm trying to take the credit, right? Like, the thinking is, like, and here's where attribution models get you into a dangerous place. You're trying to take credit rather than discover truth of effectiveness of channels, right? So when you're trying to take credit, you manipulate the numbers to show them what you want to show. Are they technically true? Yes. But they're manipulated just enough to make you look good, right? So if I'm an SEO manager, I want first touch, or maybe something weighted, like a linear decay. Oh, my webcam's backward. This way. Like a linear decay thing where, the front of marketing activities is weighted higher, and it makes me look good, right? First touch would be the ideal because, if you got a strong brand especially, then everything looks like it's coming from organic, and you're like, sweet. If I'm a field marketer or run events, right, I don't want first touch. I want something else that's going to, like, weight mine, like probably either a last touch type thing or even like a weighted one where you, like, go through all the activities and create this custom set where you're like, you pick the activities you feel like are the most influential and you give them a percentage of it. Like, you're just going to be manipulating it a little bit. So, and then on top of that, I think there's a complexity of, like, how granular do you get? I haven't been like a deep HubSpot user. My automation experience has been in other stuff mostly, but I've had it for a while and used a little bit. And when I looked at that stuff, it was like assigning revenue, at least the out-of-the-box one that I saw. Like, I didn't implement this, by the way, okay? But when I was looking at it, the out-of-the-box one that put out, it was like assigning revenue to every single email touch point. When I'm, like, looking at that does nothing personally for me. Like, my newsletter, like, it's really important overall. I'm not going to, like, make a judgment call on its influence on revenue. Like, that does not make sense to me. So Was it a piece of the journey? Yeah, certainly. But when you get super granular too, and you're making all these little decisions trying to spread revenue out, like, I feel like all you're trying to do is prove your worth in something, and you're not trying to figure out what's working. Executives need the big number to make sure there's some kind of proof that you're doing something. But then after that, like once you've told the execs like what you're doing, everything underneath should be focused more on action, right? That I'm pulling stuff that shows me whether something's working or not. So what does that look like? You should be understanding, which channel, like be focusing on splitting channels out and see how they help different conversions. And it gets a little tricky, like, but if you think of it, if you just split it out and like if I get people to do this activity, what percentage of those activities eventually, they're not the source of an opportunity or a sale, right? But they happened before, right? If you just take it super linear like that, then you can make predictions of, okay, like let's say I get people to attend an event, and people that attended, like of the people that attended my events last year, 1% of them turned into opportunities. Well, now I know that if I get 1,000 people to an event, I'm going to get 10 opportunities. Eventually out of it. Not because of the event necessarily, but I know that people that attend my events come to opportunities at 1%. And then the math is just straight. You build those little funnels for all of the different stuff you're doing that you're able to measure at least. And now you have baselines on the experiences that maybe are the most effective. If you have a team to like make it more complex, I'm sure. I mean, I'm on a small team, so we can't do that. But you could start pairing up experiences, right? Like if they do this activity and this activity before an opportunity, what are the rates like? And then coming up with like an ideal experience. So don't spend, like you need to figure out, you need to be able to prove your worth so that you can report on it. But that's not like the end all be all. The end all be all is you have that number, somebody else looks at it. Your job is to improve it. So, too much work trying to prove ourselves rather than improve ourselves. That's my take. Let me know what you think.